do you reckon?
Did ya?
Nah, they let me out. They couldn't stand the noise you lot were making. You better believe it. Though I reckon the news they got from the hospital helped a bit.
I would have thought Kelly was much too big a card to have done that to herself, and for what? She must have known the story wouldn't hold water.
Yes.
Now she's left with two alternatives. To come back here and suffer the consequences or be transferred to Blackmore.
Well, maybe that's what she wanted, the transfer.
No. She thought she was going to Blackmore after the riot. The idea terrified her.
Right, it doesn't make sense.
Unless she wasn't planning on coming back.
My God, she's planning an escape.
If it ain't Florence Nightingale. What happened? You fall off the back of your ambulance.
Nah, my car broke down. How far are you going?
All the way, love. Hop in.
Yes, Inspector. Well, according to the file, last time she escaped, she headed straight for Adelaide. No. My bet is that she's headed in the opposite direction. Let's see, well, there's no mention here of anybody she could contact. Oh, yes, she's dangerous, all right. If she gets hold of a weapon, she'll use it. You wanted to say something?
Just interested to see how you make up for your mistake in keeping Kelly here.
Made a few mistakes yourself. Nobody's a perfect judge of character, not even you.
Yeah, but I know an inefficient deputy governor when I see one. But of course, I won't have to worry about that after tomorrow morning. No.
Members say that if they lose the vote on Friday, they will call for another special state conference, where all views can be fully aired, including those of the National Executive. A full press release is expected later this evening.
No point in them doing that. If they can't agree now, they never will.
What's that, street value of between $4 to $6 million have appeared before a Sydney magistrate. The two men, David William Norris and Henry Alexander Truman, both of Camaray, were arrested last Sunday and have pleaded not guilty at today's hearing. The magistrate remanded both men in custody after police drug squad officers had requested that bail applications be disallowed.
I should think so, too. They've been trying to nail their pair for months.
I'm glad.
The magistrate commended the police on the effectiveness of their recent efforts to smash a major gang of heroin pushers known to be operating in the Sydney area.
Well done. Good
Another
work,
prisoner
boys.
has escaped from Wentworth Detention Centre. Louise Kelly, a long-term prisoner, escaped from custody while receiving medical attention at Wentworth General Hospital.
Oh, no. I hope this won't start all that nonsense again, Harry.
Don't worry, dear.
Well, I can't help it. I mean, after all that fuss when that other one got out.
No one believed those allegations against me.
Police are advising all householders in the surrounding
Still,
area to be cautious.
we don't
with
want
the
you getting upset again.
Thank you. Well, it was awful. I mean, a man of your standing having to defend yourself after being attacked by those horrid women.
Now, it didn't take long to clear up. Now, did it?
The very idea of you being a murderer after spending a lifetime on the force.
Well, I know that. And so does everybody else. Now, how about you starting to get dinner ready?
Yes.
Now, I tell you what. I'll ring Gary, see if he'd like to come over and eat with us, eh?
Oh, yes. There's enough for 3. It's lamb.
Well, there you are, then. If anything, I'll get him over that, Will.
Well, off you go, dear. Tell him it'll be about an hour.
Gary, how are you, son? No, everything's fine. No, your mother just wondered if you'd like to come over and have dinner with us. As soon as you can. I'd like to have a little talk with you before we eat, if that's okay. Yeah. Well, I'll see you then.
Well, I must say it's good to have someone responsible working in here for a change. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't told me who'd taken that knife.
Oh, you won't go back on your word, will you?
Of course not. The girl's been pretty rotten to me about that. That wasn't my fault. All I did was tell the governor the truth, what you told me.
Yeah, sure.
Mervyn,
I'm just packing up.
Mrs. Reynolds wants to see you again.
But I thought it was all
We
settled.
know Connors wasn't responsible.
What?
We believe Kelly got the knife herself, with a little help from one of her mates.
Herself? I don't understand.
She's done a bunk from the hospital. Set the whole thing up by cutting her wrists.
But you said you saw... Oh, no.
I see. All right, Williams, you've got some explaining to do.
You okay, Mum? Don't you let him keep you in there. I know what you two are like when she gets naughty.
Right, I have 2 minutes.
Oh, Gary, come in, son.
Hi, Dad. How's it going?
Couldn't be better. Like a drink?
Yeah, thanks. Now, what seems to be the problem?
Well, I'm worried about your mother.
Yeah, well, she's worried about you, too. She told me there'd been another escape from Wentworth.
Oh, that's nothing.
Not if the bloody press come round here again.
Yes. That did upset your mother, didn't it?
She shouldn't have to cope with things like that.
I couldn't agree more. That's why I've decided to take her away for a couple of days, just till this ruckus blows over.
That's a great idea.
Then, if this madman does decide to come out of hiding, nobody can think it's me, can they?
Yeah. You know, there might even be a way of making sure of that.
Yeah.
Well, what do you reckon? Is that clever or what?
You're a clever boy, son.
Chip off the old block, eh?
I knew we'd be thinking alike on this one.
I'll sound more like the maniac than the maniac himself. I'll make him believe it, don't you worry.
I swear it. Kelly would have killed me if I didn't do what she said. I didn't know what she was planning to do with it.
The fact is that you were the one who got it for her and who framed Connors and Jenkins.
I know. But please, can't you transfer me or something? Rita's going to be as mad as hell.
Should have thought of that beforehand.
Mr. Moran's right. You're in a lot of trouble.
Oh, please, can't you get me out of here? I've told you everything I can.
Take it to solitary, Mr. Moran.
Oh, please, my life's not going to be worth living if you leave me here. Honest.
Quiet, Williams.
I feel awful about all this. I don't know what to say.
It's over now. I must ask you to be more careful in future, both about security and what the women tell you.
Yes, well, I think I'd like to go and apologize to Rita and Alice, if that's all right.
Yes, of course. I'll get an officer to accompany you. Come in.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were busy.
It's all right, I'm just leaving. See you both at the wedding.
What wedding?
Mervyn and Joyce's. I've had an invitation plus friend. Interested?
You're not asking me just because Mervyn put you on the spot.
I was going to ask you anyway, really.
Sure.
Good. You realise it'll be formal, shirt and tie, suit, the whole bit.
Oh, yeah, well, we can sort of fix all that.
Dan?
Well, I'm not going to wear a starched collar and matching pinstripes, you know.
We'll see.
I thought I told you boys 2 minutes.
Just coming.
Mind setting the table for me, love?
Sure, Mum, no worries.
I love it when we're all together around the table. Come on, Dad.
Look, I can be useful to you. There's things going on here none of you know about. Real bad things.
Don't want to hear it, Williams.
Tell Mrs. Reynolds I'll talk some more if she sends me to Barnhurst. I'll tell you all about what Kelly did before she left. I'll tell you as long as you don't send me to Blackmore.
We don't make deals. You'll end up where the department decides to put you.
Well, don't blame me when Kelly gets her own back on all those bitches.
I don't want to hear another sound out of you.
You can't treat me like dirt. I've got things you want to know about. Why don't you tell your department cronies to listen to me? Moran! You'll be sorry. Bloody sorry. So all them winos down there, they won't know what's hit 'em.
Morning, Andrea.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
Bit of a sore throat, actually.
Perhaps Sister Hawke can give you something for it. Oh, good morning, Miss Ferguson.
Well, you're going to stand guarding that book all day? Am I going to be allowed to sign in before lunch?
Oh, I didn't realise you were in such a hurry.
Some of us have work to do. What time's Moran rostered on?
Roster's here
Probably
somewhere.
rostered himself on late. That's what usually do when they get a taste of power.
I'm sure Mr. Moran wouldn't do that sort of thing.
Oh, I see. You'd rather have him deputy governor over Mrs. Morris, is that it?
Well, I'm not sure.
I suppose you would too.
It's not that simple, Joan.
Frankly, I think it is. I mean, what would you prefer? A deputy governor who really knows this place or a departmental puppet?
Well, it's not up to us to decide. Meg's already...
Yes, well, you be at the stop work meeting this morning. You can have your say then.
That's all we need. A stop work meeting chaired by her.
Yes, Joyce mentioned something about it last night.
Hang on. Morning, Wentworth Detention Centre. Can I help you?
No. Just passing on some info about that prisoner who escaped last night.
Kelly? Look, hold on a minute. I'll put you through to the governor.
No, don't bother. See, I'm way ahead of you. I'm gonna save you the trouble of having to look after her again. It was so bloody simple tracking down that first bit of scum you let escape.
God, I think it's the man that killed Nora Flynn.
Dead right. It's gonna be easier still tracking down that new one who just got out. She's as good as dead.
Now, look, hang on. If this is some sort of a joke...
It's no joke. You just ordered the pine box, okay?
Try to keep him talking.
Gone. Police haven't got a trace on this line anyway.
What did he say? Did it sound like a hoax?
For Kelly's sake, I hope it is. Somehow, I don't think so.
Come on, here. Come on, chook. It's the last for the day. Go on, eat it.
Who are you? Let's get the bloody daylights out of me.
Mrs. Jenkins? Hey, Biddy. Now, if you're the district nurse, you could just bugger off.
Alice sent me.
Alice? She said you'd help me. Get in here where no one can see you.
I thought you said you lived by yourself.
I do, but my sister's down for a couple of days with her son, Mike. You can stay here until they're gone. They'll be gone in a couple of hours. I don't know what you think you're doing coming here.
Well, Alice is my best mate. She told me to come and see if I needed any help.
It wouldn't be the first time she's been wrong.
You're not going to put me in, are you?
I've got no love for the cops. They've done nothing but bring trouble to my door. But I don't want you staying here either. Understand?
Oh, come on. It's only for a couple of days. That's all.
Okay. For a couple of days, and that's it. And you're on your own.
Alice said you were all right.
How is Alice? I don't get to see her as often as I'd like.
Oh, she's okay. Making the best of it, you know.
Stay in here, out of sight. I'll get you some food when Lucy and Mike are gone.
So it looks like this maniac's on the move again, assuming it wasn't a hoax call.
Andrea thought it was genuine?
Yes, he let the police know straight away. They're putting a trace on the line in case he rings again.
Unlikely.
Especially if it's Bassinger. Knows police strategy like the back of his hand. Be one step ahead of them all the way.
You're saying you believe Patterson and Wyndham's story?
Yes. I even tackled the minister to have Bassinger more thoroughly investigated. Didn't do me much good. He's known Bassinger for years.
Well, it sounds as though you've done everything you could. You'll just have to hope that this person, whoever it is, makes a mistake soon. Come in.
Just like to inform you that the stop work meeting's beginning in 5 minutes.
I see. I presume adequate staff are on duty to look after the women.
Of course. The women are out in the grounds with 2 officers supervising as you requested.
Well, I certainly hope this meeting won't take the whole morning, Miss Ferguson.
Oh, I don't think so. The whole thing looks pretty cut and dried to me.
Hi.
Hi. I know I probably shouldn't have come. I just thought...
No, I'm glad you did.
Well, it was just to say hello. I'm gonna go.
Look, I know it's risky with the parole hearing coming up, but I know I can see us here.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this sort of thing.
No, I think you're beautiful.
I wish I was.
Hey, let me be the judge of the day.
Oh, I can't.
What is it?
I've never really had a boyfriend before. I better go. I love you.
I love you too.
Come in.
Governor?
I take it the meeting's over.
Yes, it is. And it's my duty to inform you that until Mrs. Morris is reinstated as Deputy Governor of this prison, all officers are on strike.
I can hardly believe this is happening.
Well, it certainly didn't take her long to get the vote she wanted.
Imagine how poor Bob must be feeling. I feel dreadful about it. Joan kept going on and on about the principle of the thing.
What makes me so mad is the selfish motive behind it.
Oh, it's so annoying. We have to give her the satisfaction she wants just so the department won't walk all over us. And we worked hard to establish ourselves for years.
The fact is that Joan has railroaded the lot of us again.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, I have to get back to work.
Joyce, we're on strike.
Oh, yes, I know. I just have to make sure the women get in safely.
How are you feeling?
Ferguson shouts and the walls tumble. Bloody annoyed.
I didn't want this to happen.
No, I know. Still, she's not the only one who knows how to play power games. Oh, Anne wants me. A lot of organising to do.
Right, well, I'll come with you.
It's not exactly easy organising police assistance at a moment's notice.
I'm sorry, Governor, but that's not the union's problem. I'm quite sure that you and Mr. Moran will manage.
We'll have to. Inform me as soon as the officers have secured the dorms, will you?
Of course.
Come in.
I'll be contactable at Union headquarters. I'm quite sure the head of department will want to speak with us.
I'm sure.
Mind you, the membership is most adamant that there'll be no settlement until Mr. Moran is removed and Mrs. Morris reinstated.
Thank you for reminding me. The officers will be leaving as soon as the prisoners are in their cells, and we'll be responsible for supervising meals until the police arrive.
Fine.
Well, I'm sure we can do with an extra pair of hands.
Mrs. Morris, I hope you realise that you too are bound by the union's decision.
I'm bound by what my conscience tells me.
You're going to defy the strike?
Yes, I am. But I'll be phoning the union secretary, tell him the real reason behind it.
It was an open vote by the members after full discussion.
Oh, come off it, Joan. You bullied them into it. All this claptrap about supporting your colleagues. It's nothing but a personal vendetta, and you know it.
I'd think very carefully about that, Morris. You're cutting your own throat.
I have thought about it, Joan. And that's why I've decided to stay on to help.
Very well.
Come on, ladies, back to your cells.
How long's this going to go on for, Mrs. B?
I really don't know. Just keep
Oh,
moving.
come on, Mrs. B. Fair sucker, the Sav.
Well, it could be days. Hard to say.
Days? You're going out for double money or what?
No more questions. Just keep moving. Come along.
If this goes on for too long, it's really going to stop me getting the coke trade happening.
Yeah, if they'd hung on another day, we could have spent the time sailing off into Happyland.
Yeah, instead of just thinking about it, eh?
Hey, listen, I'm just going down to the laundry to check on the bottles. I'll catch you later.
Where are you going, Connors? Get here.
Go to the toot, just got to powder me nuts.
Oh, no, you're not. Move.
Sheila's got a right to go to the toilet.
You've got no rights. Now get to your cell. I won't tell you again. This is taking far too long, Mrs. Barry. Hurry them up.
Oh, come on, hurry it up. No more dawdling, quickly.
Oh, geez, something really hurts.
What's the matter?
She's in agony, poor thing.
What's going on here?
Oh, she's sick. We better get her up to Sister Hall.
Oh.
No. I'll be all right in a minute.
Where's the pain?
In my belly. Oh, I think I'm going to throw up.
Oh, dear. Get her to the top straight away. Julie, you go with her. Quickly, please. Well, don't hang around gawking. Just keep moving. Come along.
She seemed all right a minute ago.
It's amazing how quick a wog can get you, eh, Jess?
Yeah, must be the pressure.
Well, that's the situation. There's not much I can do about it now. I assume the union secretary will be calling you shortly with details of their demands. Very well, if you think that'll help. But Yes, goodbye. The minister's decided to come over here himself.
He's not happy.
Furious. Though, quite frankly, I'm amazed he thought he could get away with appointing you over Mrs. Morris in the first place.
He probably thought my experience could be useful to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that I necessarily prefer Meg. As a matter of fact, I'm glad it wasn't my decision. As far as I'm concerned, you're both qualified for the job.
I was impressed by the way she stood up to Ferguson. Showed a lot of backbone.
Well, Joan certainly won't give in without a battle, that's for sure.
Dwyer's tough. I'm looking forward to seeing him put Ferguson in her place. Last thing she's expecting.
Well, it may not be quite as straightforward as that.
We'll see. But I can't see him letting the union walk all over him, not when it's one of his own decisions.
I sincerely hope you're right.
Oh, hurry up, Lex. If we get caught, I'll lose me early parole.
Oh, quit moaning, you wimp. Anyone comes, you just keep quiet. I'll get you out of it.
I really thought you were sick at first, you know.
Yeah, I should get myself one of them Oscars, eh?
Yeah.
Wasn't too difficult, but I was feeling a bit squiffy in the tummy this morning anyway.
Come on, Lex.
This is delicate work. You're touchy about your parole, aren't you? Can't wait to get out with Ryan the Lion. Bet she's got a hairy chest.
I told him I love him this morning.
You what?
Well, I do.
Yeah, of course you do, but you don't go telling blokes that.
Why not?
Because it confuses the hell out of them. Once they think you've got them by the shorts, they get panicked, take off for the hills. Look, you've got to keep them guessing. Once they hear you say you love them, get full of themselves, stop trying. Go off drinking with their mates and leave you sitting at home.
Nah, Steve wouldn't be like that.
They're all the same. You won't see them for dust.
Lexi, all men are not the same.
Well, have it your own way. I reckon I better give this a bit of a quick taste test.
It won't be ready yet.
Yuck.
I told you so. The yeast won't have reacted properly.
Yeah, well, a bit of yeast and sugar won't kill me. This one's for you and Steve, Chook.
Oh, you still look quite ill. Perhaps I'd better get the sister to come down and take a look at you.
Oh, I'll be all right. Just need to lie down for a bit. Jules will look after me, won't you? Yeah, we'll be right, Mrs. B.
You do realise I have to lock you in?
Jeez, I feel so much better now. I chucked it all up. Reckon you better have a word to Mr. P, Butt.
What, you think it was something you ate?
Must have been.
But everyone else had the same for breakfast and no one else is complaining.
Well, maybe he put something in my porridge. Maybe I said something he didn't like and he thought he'd finish me off.
Now, that is quite enough. You're obviously not as sick as you're making out.
It's pretty mean. Pretty funny, but you see the look on her face? Oh. You can stop now. Yeah. Oh, I know. Ow. You don't have to fool me, you know, Lex. Yeah, I know. Just it's really starting to hurt, Jules. I feel like somebody started a volcano in me guts or something.
So until the police send us some help, it's up to the three of us to run the place as best we can.
Well, how long will that take to organise?
Well, it depends who they can give us at short notice. Probably won't expect any real help until tomorrow.
Well, if there's anything I can do, just say the word.
Be very careful if I were you, Ryan. That'd make you a scat.
Joan, Steve isn't even a member of the union. Wentworth Detention Centre, can I help you?
I was just telling Mrs. Morris that I'm able to see both sides of the problem.
Then perhaps you'll show a bit more sense and keep your nose out of something that doesn't concern you.
I think calling the strike is an overreaction to the issue.
I don't care what you think.
And you don't care what hardships the women suffer either, do you?
Listen, Ryan, if I catch you carrying out any duties normally performed by officers, you can forget about ever working here again.
I suppose that hard line applies if there's an emergency, an accident, or a fire?
You heard what I said.
You're Ferguson, aren't you?
Yes, I am, Minister.
Right. I want you, Morris and Moran, in the Governor's office immediately.
Certainly, sir.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Would you mind signing the book? I can't take you through until you do, sir. It's prison regulations.
You know, I don't think Mrs. Reynolds could honestly object to any of these suggestions.
Yeah, some pretty good ideas, eh?
I'm surprised they haven't been raised before.
Yeah. I bet you the freak will go as mad as a gum tree full of galahs when she gets the French fries on it.
What?
When she sees it.
Oh.
Doesn't matter anyway, it's up to Reno.
Well, I suppose the strike will slow everything down.
Yeah, I bet she'll have her mitts full. I wonder what it's in aid of anyway.
No one's saying anything.
I bet you it's more money. Greedy buggers. And they go on about dole plungers. At least we keep the people at the dole office in a job.
Oh, speaking of jobs, you know, there was another suggestion I thought about adding to the list.
Yeah, well, don't keep it to yourself.
Well, it's about the Sunday services. You know, the man who conducts them isn't very good, and I don't really think he's the best man for the job.
Well, I tell you what. The next time he comes, we'll nail him to the ceiling. If he hangs around for 3 days, we'll keep him on.
Oh, Rita, that's awful. No, I think the women should have somebody who can talk to them on their own level, you know, instead of all that Old Testament stuff.
Yeah, well, maybe you're right. Maybe I know just the geezer. Dan the man. He'll make him sit up and listen.
Oh, do you think Mrs. Reynolds would agree to him?
No worries. He's been slipping her a bit of the gospel on the side anyway. Bloody hell. Someone's chucking their donuts up.
Oh, Lexi. Oh, just help me get back to the bed, eh?
Maybe you should stay at the sink.
Oh.
Help! Somebody! Lexi's sick! We need Sister Hall! Somebody help! Somebody help us! Please! We need an officer! Mrs. Barry! Anyone! Help! Please! What the hell's going on? It's Lexi! I think she needs a doctor! She's really in a bad way! Help! Help!
Where are you, Screws? There's got to be someone here.
Well, Mervin's in the kitchen preparing lunch in case we get this thing settled quickly. But I daren't tell him what Patterson said.
Will she be all right?
Well, she insists she doesn't want to see the sister. Probably enjoying all the attention, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, I mustn't forget to put that onto night switch so that all the calls will go through to the Governor's office and the staff room.
Yeah, the big powwow. Well, let's hope they're talking sense.
Well, better get going.
Joyce, before you go, can we have a little chat?
Can you tell us more about what's wrong with her? She's still chucking?
Yeah, and her stomach pain's getting worse too.
How?
Well, they must have left someone here for emergencies.
What, them pikers? You're joking. Out for themselves all the way. Oh, hang on to your helmet. I'm thinking.
Don't worry, Lexi. There'll be someone in a minute. Oh, there's got to be. Where the hell are they all anyway? There's got to be someone there somewhere.
If there is, I reckon we better wake the buggers up.
Oh, Steve, it's not that I don't approve. It's just that I don't want either of you getting hurt.
Yeah, I've never fallen for a girl so quickly. But she told me this morning she loves me.
Yes. But as it's happened so fast, you don't think it could be infatuation rather than love?
I think I've been around long enough to know the difference.
Yeah, well, I must say it didn't take me too long to feel attracted to my Mervyn.
Exactly. Well, once the parole comes through, it'll all fall into place. Oh, I certainly won't let anything get in the way. Well, not even...
Not even what?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Oh, dear. What are those women up to now?
Oh, sounds like someone's having a party.
Well, I'd better go and put a stop to it. They'll be able to hear that in the Governor's office.
Well, Ferguson will accuse you of strike break.
But there could be something wrong. It doesn't sound like the normal carry-on to me.
Well, how about I go and check it out for you?
Oh, no. Ferguson will get you sacked, that's for sure, if you do that.
Oh, well, let us sort it out herself then.
Yeah. Well, perhaps they're just complaining about being locked up.
Oh, come on, girls. Exercise them lungs.
What do we do if there's no one there?
We'll yell loud enough for them to hear us in Canberra. Come on, bang on the outdoors, anything. You sound like a bunch of wimps on a Sunday bloody picnic. And keep it up till one of them slackers finally gets here.
Help! Somebody! Please help us!
Don't worry, Lex. Sorry to be here in a minute.
The fact is, if the union doesn't come to its senses, isn't there someone who could put a stop to that damn noise?
Not while the department refuses to see this matter from the union's point of view.
Mrs. Morris, would you go and find out what's happening?
You take one step outside that door, Mrs. Morris, and every officer in this state will walk out in sympathy.
And that's exactly the opportunity they're looking for.
I'll go, so long as I'm still Deputy Governor. I'm allowed to supervise, right, Miss Ferguson?
You're not leaving the room till this matter's settled.
But, Minister, it could be important.
Rubbish! They're only trying to make matters worse. Well, I don't give in to that sort of nonsense, nor do I give in to blackmail by unions.
The majority of the members want Moran out.
I don't give a damn what they want. I want this place running smoothly for a change. Have you any idea how much bad publicity I've had to put up with over Kelly's escape? Never mind the murder of Flynn or Patterson's escapade. Kelly should have been transferred to Blackmore. You made a mistake, Moran, that has caused me a lot of problems. As from this moment, Mrs. Morris is reinstated as Deputy Governor, and you are relegated to the rank of Senior Officer.
This is ridiculous. I'm going to find out what's happening, and I don't care what Joan or the union think.
Well, I'll come with you.
Oh, no. No point in both of us getting into trouble.
Let me be the first to congratulate you. You must be relieved.
Yes. But I meant what I said to the Minister. I am happy to have the job back, but I don't like the way it was handled.
I'll thank the union for you then, shall I?
Oh, you're out of the meeting. Has it all been sorted out?
Yes. The strike is over.
And thanks to the union, we have Mrs. Morris back as our Deputy Governor.
You must be pleased.
We'll talk about it later, but right now I want to know what's wrong with the women.
Oh, I'll do that. I was on the way there anyway. I've been calling out for quite some time, and you've got more than enough to do getting things back to normal.
Well, you let me know if there's any problems.
Yes, of course.
Mrs. Morris, I'm sure you'll understand that I'll have to inform the union that you were prepared to go against the decision to strike.
As far as I'm concerned, you can tell them what you damn well please.
I'll take you to reception if there's nothing else.
Thank you.
Can I have a word with you before you leave? Won't take long.
All right.
I'll be in reception.
Thank goodness that noise has stopped. Sorry if I sounded a bit rough on you, Bob, but I had to for everyone's sake. We'll work something out. Country prison, maybe.
You can cut the bull.
Listen.
Now, you listen. All that rubbish you spun me about being potential governor material, that's exactly what it was, wasn't it? Rubbish.
If you'd proved yourself...
With you fobbing me off all the time? All that ever concerned you was getting somebody to sit in that chair that wouldn't make waves.
Now, careful, Moran. You got your future to consider.
Yes. You can forget about taking me off the promotion lists because I've already done that. All the real work gets done in the ranks as far away from bureaucrats like you as possible.
If that is your opinion, I'm very glad I heard it before I made the mistake of offering you a permanent position, because it looks like you'll be staying in the ranks for quite a while.
Assuming I stay in the prison service at all.
That decision is up to you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have appointments to go to.
Well, I'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. How's it going?
There's a couple I haven't been able to get hold of, but most are on their way. Good.
Is it all right if I get cracking, though?
I'd prefer you to work outside till everything's back to normal.
Oh, sure.
Thanks for your help, Mrs. Reynolds. I expect everything will start running smoothly from now on. This sort of thing's not going to help anyone, is it?
We'll be doing our best.
Can I have a minute later on?
Fine, I assume it's about
Oh,
Pies.
Mrs. Reynolds, I need some help.
What is it?
Well, it's Patterson. I think we should get her to sick bay. She's been vomiting badly.
Oh, I'll give you a hand.
Leave it to me.
Oh, come. We better hurry. Oh, it's probably a virus or something.
You said she was vomiting.
Oh, yes. Oh, and Bob, I heard what's happened, and I want you to know I'm sorry.
This place has got the better of me.
What do you mean? You're not thinking of leaving, are you?
Why not? I've just been demoted in front of everyone. I got no prospects. Not much left to hang around for, is there?
I'm not about to cark it, you know.
Yeah, well, just because you feel a bit better doesn't mean
Oh,
you're
stop
all right.
fussing, will you?
What's happening, Jules?
We're still waiting for Mrs. B to get back so we can get Lex to sick bay.
I'm all right, you stupid buggers. Just a stomach cramp.
Stomach cramp be buggered. We want a doc's advice, we'll ask for a doc. So shut up and do what Jules tells you.
That's enough, Connors.
Oh, guess he's back from holidays.
I said quiet. And that goes for the lot of you.
Well, are we getting out of here or what?
You'll be let out as soon as possible. The strike's over.
Did you hear that?
Yay! Right, let's get you up to Sister
Oh,
Hall.
I'm all right now, okay?
Lexi.
You're a sick girl, now come on.
I feel great, all right?
Sister Hall will still want to check you over.
Just to be on the safe side.
Look, I'm all right now. I puked it all up anyway. You can't make me go if I don't want it.
All right. But I think your mate should take you down to the shower block and get you freshened up, all right?
Fine by me.
We'll get the volunteer to clean this place up.
Oh, real decent of you, Tara.
Come on.
Looks like she's over the worst.
Yes, I'd better go with them.
Come on, Moran, are you going to let us out or what?
It's a little job I want somebody to do.
That was over bloody quick, wasn't it?
Oh, thank goodness. I don't know what would have happened if it had gone on longer.
Yeah, well, I've seen it up the country. It's not pretty, I can tell you. Well, did you get your pay rise?
None of your business.
I'm just wondering, you know, up the workers and all that.
I said none of your business, and I meant it.
All right, keep your wig on. Just taking an interest in the place, that's all.
I need a volunteer to clean up Patterson's cell. You're it.
Are you kidding?
Move it.
Well, I'll start feeling off myself.
I'll do it.
Forget it. You know where the cleaning things are?
Yep, that's right. It's all over. Yeah, you can come in straight away. Good. Bye. Wentworth Detention Centre. Oh, sorry. Look, this is a terrible line. You'll have to speak up. What? This caller says he's Flynn's murderer.
Me?
Who did you say you wanted to speak to?
It's Wentworth
yes,
here.
yes, that's much better.
We've had another
Here
one of
now.
those calls. Would you put a trace on it,
Yes.
please?
He's handing out.
If this is a
all the
genuine
paroles,
call,
he's
it's going to
asking
look
for
bad for
trouble.
Patterson and Wyndham.
No,
Yes.
no, I mean, if they're
No one
sentenced
with
to 10
Bassinger's
years, then
knowledge would risk a second
They should
call.
serve 10 years. I
No.
agree entirely.
You were very sensible to keep calling out like that.
Oh, we were all pretty worried.
I'm all right now.
Well, of course, if it's a virus, it can cause all sorts of problems.
I think she just needs some rest now, Mrs. B.
Look, I never felt bad.
Lexi! Lexi!
Oh, Julie! Julie, stay with her. I'm going to get Sister Hall, and no arguments this time.
Righto.
Oh, jeez. Just help me up, will you?
No, you just stay there till the sister gets here. Now, come on.
She's not going to be able to do nothing.
What do you mean?
I told you, I felt yuck when I woke up this morning.
So?
And I'm a week late. Bloody Jessie and her stupid ideas about having it off with a garbo.
Morning sickness?
Well, there's no use kidding myself. I'm up the duff.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.